Hey y'all, Donnie Keith here, aka Auntie Peaches from the Aunties Radio Show, also on The Voice of Reason. I'm here to say that ever since my man started taking A game, he's been on top of his A game. When I say A game, I mean his A game. He's more focused. He's definitely working out more. His attitude is better. And he's not complaining of all over body aches due to poor blood circulation, because A-Game provides great blood circulation, if you know what I mean, ladies. That blood circulation. Sometimes I have to hide the A-Game in the bushes when I'm out walking the dog just because I want some sleep, if you know what I mean, ladies. Stay on top of your A-Game, fellas. Get your A-Game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we got for you today is why Black women had to separate from Black men. And this is still piggybacking off of my live stream that I did yesterday and talking about the ordinance of 1918 in Greenville, South Carolina, where Black women were made to leave their homes as housewives to work in the homes of white women. Now, I also talked about Black male disenfranchisement as a method that the system used to create that environment again where Black women would leave her home voluntarily to work and choose work over her family. So today I got some examples of that disenfranchisement that Black men were going through. Just an example out of history. I'm going to play a quick video and then I'm going to read a part of an article to reinforce what we're talking about. And then we're going to cook it. So without too much further ado, let me go ahead and let me click this link. And here we go.
Now, this water crisis here in Jackson, Mississippi is just another sign of the systemic racism that really does exist here in Mississippi. This state is really designed to keep Black people down. The whole system of this state is designed that way. And even my family's been directly affected. You know, back in the 1920s, my family owned land here in Mississippi, and they discovered oil underneath that land. When that oil was discovered, the KKK physically chased my family off the land, burned their home down and everything. And since then, billions of dollars worth of oil has been pumped off that land. That changed the trajectory of my family forever. So when people say the systemic racism doesn't exist and the past doesn't affect now, my family is the perfect example of how the racism of the past and the sins of the past, the sins of your fathers, affect our children.
Now, let me stop sharing that. Okay. That was a quick snippet, but we have a man here whose family, in his family history, understood, knew of a time where his family had made roots on land and then discovered that there was oil under that land. And see, oil make you rich. If I was to buy a plot of land right now in 2022, buy a few acres of land, and on that land I discovered that there is oil underneath that land and a goodly amount of oil, billions can be made. Okay, you better believe in 2022, the system, they're going to try everything that they can to get me off of that land because they don't want to see you make any money. They want to benefit. Now, I'm going to read a part of an article. I want to share my screen again. And we're going to, let me see. Here we go. I'm going to share that real quick. I know you probably can't see it, but I'm going to read this little snippet anyways. Okay. Now, the title of this article is "In 100 Years, 1 million Black families have been ripped from their farms." Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. And I'm going to scroll down because there are different parts of this article. And I'm going to read this snippet right here. A House Judiciary Subcommittee on Wednesday held the first hearing in over a decade on the issue of reparations for Black Americans. The hearing took place fittingly on Juneteenth holiday commemorating the announcement of the end of slavery in the United States, and 5 years after the writer Ta-Nehisi Coates, who testified, reigniting the debate with his 2014 essay, The Case for Reparations. Once a fringe topic, reparations has emerged as an issue in the 2020 presidential campaign, with several leading candidates for the Democratic nomination expressing support for various measures to atone for America's racist past. Thanks to Mr. Coates and others, today's movement for reparations places as much emphasis on the racist public policies of the 20th century, which denied Black Americans opportunities to build wealth and left them vulnerable to all manner of economic exploitation, as it does on the crimes of slavery. Many leading proponents of reparations point to the federal government's failure to provide land and resources, the 40 acres and a mule, to former slaves following emancipation as promised, as laying the course for today's inequities. Had such a racial land reform taken place, the Duke University economist William Darity Jr. argues, it is easy to envision that the vast current differences in wealth between Black and non-Blacks would not exist. Mr. Darity has gone so far as to use the ungranted 40 acres of land that was due former slaves as the basis for calculating the amount of reparations due to their descendants today. But in addition to invoking the 40 acres Black people never got, the reparations movement today should be talking about the approximately 11 million acres Black people had but lost, in many cases through fraud, deception, and outright theft, much of it taken in the past 50 years. Okay. What does this tell us? These are just a few examples, a couple of examples of the level of disenfranchisement imposed on Black people as a whole, Black men especially. This was a part of making Black men financially useless and unstable because, and it also, let me finish one thought before I go to another. To make Black men unstable, or to appear to be unstable, to appear to not be able to handle their own business, to appear to not be able to manage their own land, and that they're too stupid to navigate the system. They didn't know about the system, or they didn't, they couldn't, they were too uneducated or too undereducated to truly navigate or know what was going on with the system. So therefore, that is how they lost their land, for being dumb, or for being irresponsible, or for being too poor, or for all of these different things, and basically these lies that are being told to us, because we still believe these lies today. We believe that Black people don't have land and don't have business and did not acquire wealth, generational wealth, in earlier years because we were too dumb, we were all poor, and we were just undereducated, and we were just too stupid to navigate a complex system that was put before us. And we were lazy, we were unmotivated, we were unambitious, we just simply didn't have the wherewithal, we didn't have the wit to keep up with the white man. We didn't have that. Our men didn't have the same level of thinking. They didn't have the same intelligence. They didn't have the same drive. We're told this, and this really, what these video and this part of the article that I read, and it's just a little bit, what this also does is remove or debunks those myths that all of us was so broke during and after Reconstruction, late 1800s, early 1900s, we were just so broke, and that's why we didn't have generational wealth. No, it was stolen from us methodically, sometimes outright, like the brother said on the video. The KKK came and just outright chased everybody physically off of that land, burning everything down. And they weren't afraid to delete nobody. They deleted the whole family, right? And so we can't then say, well, our ancestors should have did this or should have did that to prevent. No, because you don't know what you would do in the face of an immediate danger right now. Not a legal red tape, not bureaucratic danger, but physical. I'm going to murk all y'all if y'all don't get off this land. You got a house full of your wife and your kids. What are you going to do? Because if you don't have what it takes to defeat them, physically right there and then, you have to make a choice. And a lot of times our ancestors were, it wasn't that they didn't understand the law, it's that they did understand it. They did understand. They did actually do what they were supposed to do. But what we discussed yesterday happens. The system moves the goalposts all the time. Every time Black men every time Black men did exactly what they were supposed to do and went a step ahead, then here come the system. No, we're going to move the goalposts. No, we're going to change the law. No, we're going to write a new law. Oh, that's not valid anymore. The understanding that you had is no longer valid. Well, we just came to this understanding last week. I get that, Mr. Johnson, but, my director, my supervisor said, and all of this other stuff. Oh, well, you got to wait another 10 months. We're not going to have an answer for you while they work in the background scheming and scamming as to how, first of all, how did these slaves get 5, 10, 15 acres of land? How you get that? See, we can't be believing that we were all broke because how did we get that land? It wasn't given. They certainly didn't gift it to us. So our men purchased that land, purchased those houses, went into agriculture, was farming, feeding themselves, feeding their families. See, that is having control over your biology. If I can feed myself, then I have control over that. If we are a community of farmers, that's a culture that we develop based on our biology. We have our families help, they work the fields and things of that nature. We're doing this stuff to benefit us, not the system. See, this is what they can't have, right? And we've created an institution within an institution, the institution of farming and agriculture. So if I buy land and I have a legal deed to that land and I use that land or part of that land for farming, and I can either consume what I've grown or I sell what I've grown and all of this type of stuff, all that the system got to do is change laws surrounding the regulation of that put me out of business. That's all they got to do. Just like the video I made of how they got Haiti to not be able to feed themselves with their own crops of rice by importing, lowering the tariff, and then importing rice, flooding the market in Haiti. See, it's the same thing. Using the law, using the environment to change your biological circumstances. This is an example of the disenfranchisement that Black men have consistently gone on in this country that created that instability or the appearance of the instability to get Black women. And then it became easy to tell Black women you can't rely on your man. You got to separate from him and you got to make your own way. And Black women believe that to this day. So I just wanted to bring that to you. The next thing I want to bring your attention is the petition we have against Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation, to hold them accountable for the more than $100 million theft that they've committed on the Black community by taking donated funds and spending them unwisely, to say the least. So if you want to be a part of holding Black Lives Matter accountable, please click the link in the description box, sign, share, and contribute to the petition. Also, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.